What if I told you that Sylvester Stallone, the man who gave us Rocky, Rambo, and the Expendables, has a treasure trove of underrated films that deserve way more love? Sure, we all know the classics, but some of his best work flies under the radar, overshadowed by his biggest blockbusters. From action thrillers to heartfelt dramas, these hidden gems prove that Stallone is far more versatile than people give him credit for. Welcome to nerdsection.com.
Is this trip business or pleasure?
Pleasure, I hope.
Welcome to the United States.
Hamer Reinhardt, sometimes called Wolfgar. Born Frankfurt, Germany, 1946. Educated Paris and Patrice Lumumba University, Moscow. Currently self-employed. Occupation, international terrorist.
You are to be indoctrinated in counter-terrorist techniques.
Deke da Silva, age 35. Born and raised New York City. Honorable discharge, U.S. Army, 1972. 52 registered kills.
Let's start with Nighthawks, a 1981 crime thriller that sees Stallone playing NYPD detective Deke da Silva, a street-smart cop thrown into an elite counterterrorism unit. His target? A ruthless international terrorist named Wolfgar, played by none other than Rutger Hauer. What sets Nighthawks apart from typical Stallone action fare is its slow-burn tension and psychological cat-and-mouse dynamic. Wolfgar is no ordinary villain. He's a manipulative, highly trained operative who sees law enforcement as little more than a nuisance. The film delivers some gripping chase sequences through the streets of New York, a haunting subway standoff, and a surprisingly vulnerable performance from Stallone, who plays da Silva as a man grappling with the morality of killing versus capturing his target. While Nighthawks never reached the heights of Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, it's an underrated classic in the gritty 80s cop thriller genre.
In the city of New York, a crime is committed every 8 seconds. But just across the river lies a quiet town called Garrison, New Jersey, where New York's finest return home.
The hero cop, unwilling to trust the system, jumps from the George Washington Bridge. Today, he is laid to rest here in the cemetery at Garrison, New Jersey.
So what brings you to our fair city?
I heard it was a way of life out here. Thought I'd check it out for myself.
What are we, like the Amish now?
It's a place where the sheriff wears the badge, but the cops own the town.
My jurisdiction ends at the George Washington Bridge. But half the men I watch live beyond that bridge, where no one's watching. I'm watching. Effectively, the sheriff of Copland.
He always dreamed of becoming one of them.
I'd like you to meet Sheriff Freddie Heflin. Freddie's a hell of a guy.
Well, you should call me. But now, he has uncovered something that could force him to choose between protecting his idols and upholding the law.
Then there's Copland, a 1997 film that proves Stallone is far more than just an action hero. Directed by James Mangold, Logan, Ford v. Ferrari, Copland takes a different approach, slowing things down for a gripping crime drama. Stallone plays Freddie Heflin, the sheriff of a small New Jersey town where most of the residents are New York City cops. Freddie is out of shape, partially deaf, and dismissed as a pushover, until he uncovers a web of police corruption that forces him to finally take a stand. This isn't the muscle-bound hero fans were used to. Here, Stallone plays a quiet, broken man whose greatest battle is against his own self-doubt. The cast is stacked with acting legends like Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and Ray Liotta, but it's Stallone's restrained, deeply emotional performance that steals the show. He gained weight for the role, softened his usual tough guy demeanor, and delivered what might be the most nuanced acting of his career. Though Copland received critical acclaim, it never achieved mainstream success, making it one of Stallone's most criminally overlooked films.
In the middle of rush hour, 100 feet below the Hudson River, the unthinkable is about to happen.
simulation, they'll all be dead before you get through dead.
How many people are left alive down there?
Maybe a dozen, and we're in the middle of the tunnel.
That tunnel is sealed from both ends.
Next, we have Daylight, a high-stakes disaster thriller from 1996. If you're a fan of classic 90s blockbusters, like Dante's Peak or Twister, this one's for you. The story follows Kit LaToura, a disgraced former EMS chief, who finds himself leading a desperate rescue mission when an explosion traps a group of civilians inside a collapsed tunnel beneath the Hudson River. What follows is a nerve-wracking fight for survival as LaToura races against time, structural collapses, rising water levels, and a ticking oxygen clock. While Daylight didn't break box office records, it delivers everything you'd want from a disaster movie: suspense, practical effects, and intense action sequences. Stallone plays LaToura with just the right mix of determination and vulnerability, making him more than just an indestructible hero. If you're looking for an underrated Stallone flick that captures the golden age of 90s action thrillers, Daylight is a must-watch.
You made a mistake!
There's no mistake. Welcome to Gateway, Leone.
I pay my debt to the state, not to me. But you're going to.
You better believe that you're going to be doing hard time here for the rest of your life.
You won't break me.
Now let's talk about Lockup, a prison drama from 1989 that often gets overlooked in favor of Stallone's bigger action hits. Here he plays Frank Leone, a convict serving a light sentence in a minimum security prison, until a vengeful warden, played by Donald Sutherland, has him transferred to a brutal maximum security facility as payback for a past grudge. What follows is a psychological and physical war between Leone and the warden, who does everything in his power to break him. Unlike the explosive violence of Rambo, Lockup focuses on survival, resilience, and the corrupt power structures within the prison system. Stallone delivers a raw, emotional performance, playing Leone as a man who just wants to serve his time and get out, but is constantly pushed to his limits. The film has its share of brutal fights and escape attempts, but at its core, it's a story about dignity, perseverance, and the indomitable human spirit. While Lockup wasn't a box office smash, it has gained a cult following over the years, and rightfully so.
The mind of a man confined works differently than someone on the outside. He sees things in a different way.
We got a runner.
Showtime.
We need you to test a top-secret, high-tech prison, holding the world's worst criminals.
When do we start?
I'm Warden Hobbs.
Hobbs. Where's Warden Marsh?
There is no Warden Marsh. There's no way out.
Go make some friends. You're gonna need them.
Back away. Who were you before you came in here?
I break out of prisons for a living.
You don't look that smart.
You don't either.
The people who paid for you to be here want you here forever.
Someone set me up. I'm gonna find out who, and I'm gonna find out why.
Finally, there's Escape Plan, a 2013 film that gives us something action fans had been waiting decades for. Stallone and Schwarzenegger teaming up in a full-length feature. Stallone plays Ray Breslin, a security expert who specializes in breaking out of high-security prisons. But when he's set up and locked away in a secret, high-tech facility, he's forced to work with fellow inmate Emil Rottmeyer, played by Schwarzenegger, to escape. What makes Escape Plan stand out is its blend of brains and brawn. Breslin doesn't just fight his way out. He uses strategy, deception, and problem-solving to crack the prison's seemingly inescapable design. Meanwhile, Schwarzenegger provides comic relief and old-school muscle to balance things out. While the film didn't make waves in theaters, it's a solid action thriller with a unique premise, clever twists, and the undeniable fun of watching two of the biggest action stars of all time share the screen. The sequels, not so great, but the original, definitely underrated. And there you have it, 5 Stallone films that prove he's way more than just an action star. And if you love Bruce Willis as we do, you should definitely check out his top 5 underrated movies.